Go.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
hi.
Welcome to the
Uh,
stream.
Live with the third round of I believe Daisy versus Tulip.
Day, Daisy versus Tulip today. This is only a round three because we've already had round one and round two. It seems like it was very close with the rounds being very different. One team definitely dominated in round one, but then there was a comeback. So we'll have to see who is going to win round three.
Yes, I believe the points are currently 7-11 in the favor of Team Tulip. Already we are seeing some very standard Dr. Seer bans. What could you think from, the Hunter side with these two bans?
Oh, uh, I'm not in the lobby. I can't see anything. Who are the bands?
Oh, that is true.
All right. I'm gonna
The
have to
bans are
ask Vivi
Doctor and
to
Seer.
stream IDV if that's possible.
The
If
bans are
it's a
Doctor.
Doctor Seer. Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
two very standard bands. Doctor is very meta in lately. No hunter wants to go against the Doctor because of the way that she can just heal and get away, body block. The support is good. Kite is okay. It's very good. Seer is also very standard, so it really could be anyone right now.
Yes, the survivors are immediately picking a gravekeeper, perhaps wanting to secure, a very good rescuer. Perhaps might have used their other rescuers in their global bans, which is why they want to secure a gravekeeper right now. We are seeing a matador ban. I do believe these
Ooh.
three current survivors very strong. All of them, matador having kind of like a built-in flywheel and a knee jerk. Able to get
Yeah.
away, make a lot of distance, and his support is very great in my opinion.
Yeah, when you have someone who's just that strong and that new, you don't want to be going against that because of the way that he is just able to get away, he's able to support others. It makes sense for them to want to ban the Matador in this case.
And I do believe a meteorologist pick will be happening. Makes sense. I mean, Matador, Meteor, they're both kind of similar in their playstyle. Both kind of have supportive capabilities, rescuing capabilities, and they're
Yeah,
both strong
definitely.
cutters. We will be seeing an Enchantress pick from after the Antiquarian ban. Makes sense. Ban one harasser, you pick another. Enchantress still being a very strong character overall. Very solid team comp from Team Daisy, I would say.
Yeah, very, very solid. We're gonna see both sides trying very hard to get the win here. So it is looking like a good, strong team comp. We just had the Enchantress picked. I mean, Enchantress is good against a lot of hunters. She's very versatile. It looks like a good team comp.
Yes. What are you expecting from the Hunter side? I will say the survivors did ban two very unique characters. The Hullabaloo makes sense given as the current Hunter playing right now is an S badge for Hullabaloo. However, banning Undead more like trying to, counter this Hunter's more like niche picks as he does play Undead.
Yeah. Yeah, they do not want to be seeing that undead. Undead can be quite strong, but thankfully we won't have to be sitting through an undead match this time. I really wonder who it could be. It's Arms Factory. It's quite a survivor-sided map. It really could
Mm.
be anyone. We just have to see who this hunter might have hidden in their roster.
Yes, I Undead ban does surprise me, as Undead is especially weak in kind of four-man VC settings, tournament settings, competitive settings, because, people just heal very quickly, they support easier, they decode better that way, they can communicate with the gate progress at dungeon. We will be seeing a peddler pick.
Peddler!
I do think this is very typical for Arms Factory.
Yeah.
Contrary to a lot of like other hunters, Peddler does excel in survivor-sided maps such as Sacred Heart Hospital and Arms Factory. So I think this is a very wise pick here. Who do you think she'll be chasing?
Oh, there's not really a safe chase in this case. I would say personally, I would go for the Enchantress
Mm.
because she also has that special skill where she can reduce stuns and she has a larger hitbox as well. I would go for the Enchantress, but we really have to see based on the spawns here. Where will she go? Will she go in the bottom? Will she go in the top?
Yes, we'll be seeing this very standard kind of spawn. Spawns next to a Titanic.
Hmm.
So if this Peddler does opt to chase maybe the Perfumer in Factory,
Oh yeah.
maybe she could eliminate a ton. Though I will say, factory with Peddler kind of a weaker area for her. However, to the left of her is meteorologist, and in my opinion, I do think Meteor is very strong into Peddler's matchup because she has that cloud to fly above the vine. She can make a lot of distance and push. So there's a lot of ways that Meteor
Mm.
can counter a Peddler, whereas Perfumer could, maybe get chipped down more from Peddler's little chips,
Yeah.
but she is in a stronger area.
She is in the stronger area, and it's really just a matter of can the hunter master the environment and be able to use those walls to break off the loop and work around the perfumes because it's really a matter of mind games and if you can pull off the perfumes.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Um,
The match will
Probably
be
no
starting shortly
possibility.
here.
Mm, no possibility of chasing the Gravekeeper, in my opinion. Grave too strong, has both strong pallets in middle and just makes too much distance and can avoid the vine with his shovel too.
Yeah, definitely. Probably wouldn't want to go for the Gravekeeper unless you're very confident about your chase.
I will say Gravekeeper does weakness of his is like he kind of traps himself. Like once he goes into the shovel, it's hard to get out. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
he does feed a lot of presence if you do take those shovel hits.
hmm Okay, let's see. Who is she gonna chase? Is she gonna chase the media, the enchantress, or the perfumer, or somebody else?
We will be
Going
seeing two things of
towards the
this.
perfumer.
Ooh, this panda has a unique build, kind of playing for the camp. We see Max Sadis on her build. Um,
Oh,
Going
going for
after
a camp gameplay. Okay, immediately breaks the wall, trying to cut off that distance with the perfumer. Perfumer unfortunately does take a hit, and that's the chip damage immediately.
great play from this peddler here. Chips a perfumer, forcing her to go back onto her perfume. And now perfume comes
Yeah,
out in a
she
kind
chooses
of
not to go towards the pallet, instead wanting to transition to a new area. Okay, it seems the peddler did anticipate that callback, but will she be able to kite this out? Oh,
ooh,
she's
might
now
go
not
down
safe.
here.
Oh, unfortunate. It was a nice
Great.
try from the perfumer, but unfortunately the chip hits was really what gave Peddler the edge there.
We were talking about this earlier, like how perfumer could possibly just be weak to, just gradual chips, and this peddler great aim on her side, immediately downing this perfumer with just like her very accurate chips, opting to not camp and just lock the cipher from this enchantress here. Will they opt for a free rescue?
It is quite early, so we don't know if free rescue would have been the right play, but it is a free rescue, so they will take it. Looking at the ciphers here, we got two ciphers with quite a lot of progress, but the third one doesn't have as much. Perfumer is just gonna opt here to die in a corner, but the chat is pretty close. I don't know if it's gonna buy too much time, but it's the best that they can do probably in the situation.
Yes, also from speaking from personal experience, I think this chair is very hard to approach from as it is in a closed corner. Gravekeeper could position for the next rescue, or Enchantress could come in, perhaps maybe for some support play, or they could opt for a full sell as Perfumer has little rebound, being injured and all. Very
Yeah.
hard to rebound. Oh, we will be seeing a sneak in from this Gravekeeper here. They're opting perhaps for some rebound from this Perfumer.
Oh yeah, they are gonna try go for the rebound. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, at least they did get a rescue. They bought maybe a couple seconds. Now the perfumer is instantly gonna go towards the gravekeeper, or maybe she is looking like she's gonna commit to the gravekeeper. But again, gravekeeper can just use the shovel and completely dodge the vine. Looking for a change target here.
Opting to
Oh,
go
no.
back for the Gravekeeper, maybe no. Just trying to, keep up her momentum, going full chase onto the Enchantress. A nice second chase, in my opinion, as we were talking about earlier. As
Yeah.
that reaction, ooh, fully commits to the vine there. Enchantress kind of reading that, not double backing at all. Gains a lot of distance from just that.
Yeah, the Enchantress confidently rotates towards. Now she has a lot of distance, but unfortunately the vine can just break all of that distance in one go. It's very nice. The
Mm.
Enchantress goes back towards the palace. This is a good move. Oh, she does take that chip, unfortunately. It was
Ooh, great
running
skill from the
toward. The basement. Is this a risky play? I think she did see the basement and is now trying to run away. Unfortunately, that chip was missed, but it's good for the enchantress. She does have a free stack to work with. Is she gonna use it? Yeah. Oh no, she missed. She missed. No, the chip hit is too strong. The chip hit is too strong. We've seen it work so many times in this game already.
Yeah, unfortunate. Enchantress does die with the flywheel, not opting to use it. Oh, and dies with a three stack could potentially make it out of this basement safely. However, there is no Titaner, and Peddler finding this grave spot early, Grateful not able to, dig through the basement, one of his many strengths. We still have Blink to work
Yeah,
with. Maybe could opt for a attack recovery cancel play.
we do have the three stack to work with as well, and there's only one cipher left. But the question is, are they gonna make the cipher? No,
Ooh.
does get the chip hit. That is a game changing move. And
Um,
unfortunately, the grave again does not have any shovel to work with, so I don't know if this is gonna keep going on.
as I would like to say, this is Peddler after her buff. Her camp is quite stronger, as her cooldowns are shorter now. Grave has to somehow get this Enchantress. Cypher's primed now, still has a chip. Could he maybe farm this Enchantress? Has three stack to work with and a flywheel too.
And the flag.
Ooh.
Oh, but they do make the pop. I wonder if she's gonna be able to make it out. She does have a five stack. Wow, getting stuck on the vine. That is really unfortunate from the side of the peddler, but Enchantress gets a lot of distance from that. Is she gonna make a wall? No, she is not.
No,
Chooses to save her resource.
they
Still
are
committing to the
splitting gates.
Enchantress.
Yeah, I think splitting gates here is kind of a funny break on the wall. Splitting gates here kind of clever. There is dungeon to work with. If Enchantress can kite this out, she could potentially make dungeon. Has five stacks.
There is a lot of dungeon potential here. I don't know if Peddler has noticed that, but the gate will be open very shortly. I don't know why Enchantress is running actually away from the dungeon. She might be just trying to wait it out and have a safer endgame. The Peddler, I'm sure she knows that Enchantress has a lot of stacks to work with, and it's just very uncertain whether she's going to get this or not.
Peddler still does have trade swap to work with. Could potentially swap to excitement. No idea where this enchantress is. Um,
The Enchantress are doing a good job at sneaking behind the back. Is she going to be able to make this? It looked like she might be able to. Oh my gosh, she makes... No?
no,
Oh,
the pass on the
the vine.
dungeon.
The vine was so clever. That vine was so clever. That was such a close game. Could you imagine? You know, we saw quite an early down from the perfumer, getting two early chip hits and not much rebound on the second rescue, but that was still a tie game, and that was really well done from the survivors. Really well done with the Cypher Rush. And it was a good job. What do you think, Sebi?
Um, the quick down on perfumer and
Pop the Prime Cypher. I thought that was very impressive.
yes, Sephiroth very prominent there. The team had, quite a good amount of decoding. Like there was no really real decoding debuff amongst their team. Enchantress
True.
almost had a dungeon there that was really close, but Vine onto the dungeon, what can you really do? And Pella does have excitement to work with, so it was just kind of a hard matchup there.
It was a hard matchup. Now we're going to be seeing the other team's Hunter. Um, was that Daisy or was that Tulip?
The Survivor team last game was Daisy and the Hunter was Tulip. So this
I
would
see.
be Daisy's Hunter now.
Wow, it's very. Yeah, again, Arms is quite a survivor-sided map, I would say, as there are a
Yes.
lot of palettes, a lot of good areas, and you can transition easily. So we will have to see if the survivors are going to manage to pull this off. I'm not sure what the win conditions are right now, but I'm sure it is tough. I believe. Wait, what were the points before this match?
It was 7-11 and now it'd be 9-13 in Tulip's favor.
Wow, that's a lot of point difference. That's 4 point difference. Wow.
Yes, so we do prioritize round wins, but for a
Mm,
potential, overtime, I do believe, or just winning in general, they do need to three-man escape the survivors on this side now. I
mm.
mean, not the survivors. I mean, the hunter does need a three kill to, win the bracket or to stretch it to an overtime or have any chance of winning. Basically, the survivors, all they can do is, if they play for a tie here, they do win the bracket. I do believe.
Yeah, with a tie. Well, we are in a tie meta, arguably. Yeah, it is just we're gonna have to see how it goes. Um, do we recognize any of the survivor players or the hunter? Or do we know anything about these? Like, what could we be expecting?
I mean, the survivor is the previous match's hunter, a dual faction player.
Oh, I see. Yeah, indeed. One team was having some trouble with finding enough players for this matchup. So yeah, there's a bit of a pickle in the dual hunter has to play for survivor as well. So yeah, given the circumstances, I really do wonder if they're going to be able to pull this off.
I do
Um,
believe Daisy's hunter has quite an off-meta pool, so maybe we might see something exciting.
uh-huh. Off meta, I wonder who that could be. What kind of off meta picks could we have on Arms Factory, really?
Arms
Um,
Factory off-meta picks, maybe a Night Watch. Mm.
oh,
A Night Watch, I could also see like stuff like Fool's Gold. I have seen Fool's Gold play quite a lot in this tournament, or even a Breaking Wheel, honestly, though risky, you know, anything
mhm.
goes in a tournament like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it would definitely be a risky pick, but it would be entertaining.
Hmm.
It would be, yeah, it would be interesting to see the stuff potential on Fool's Gold. Let's see if he can pull that off. Um,
Yes,
yeah,
and that
Fool's,
is
yeah.
just very strong into his chase, and he does have some good areas in arms, but on the other hand, he has some very weak areas in arms, like locker ruins, deep sandbags, factory, all weak areas for him. But he does do
Yeah.
quite back at least. He has that going for him.
True, true. Is he in a prospector ban? Okay, I'm sussing
Plus,
out the Anne here, the disciple.
I also agree. Yeah, no, not too long ago, I did have an Anne player ban Prospector in the rank match.
Mm,
Very,
yeah,
very, you know, could see the mile, like the Anne from a mile away.
for real.
We will be
The
banning.
second is Enchantress. And then from the Hunter, we're seeing a Goatman and Ivy. Very, very standard. Nobody wants to be going against either of those hunters.
I mean, yes, when you only need to tie, just ban any strong hunter just in case, you know.
Hmm.
Enchantress with the Prospector ban, maybe they're playing full into like anti-harassment, maybe they're
Yeah.
scared of harassing.
Perhaps the hunter is trying to prevent any potential of delaying chess for the survivor or any harassment that will increase the cipher rush capability. Wow, the survivors are going Seer and Doctor, two very heavy meta bans straight off the bat. That is scary. If I was the hunter, I would be shaking.
In Matador 2, this is the hunter does need to play for what at 3K.
Mm,
I do find when you need to play, when the survivors from the survivors' perspective, they need to play safe, correct? So
yeah.
I don't think they would have picked a risky character such as Prospector. In fact, I don't think they
Mm,
need any harasser at all to tie, really. Because when you play harasser as a role in general is kind of like a risky role, right? So
yeah.
when you don't need to play any risks, I feel like picking a lot of strong kiters or just sub rescuers in general might be the advantage, or a character with really heavy support such as Doctor.
That's
Another
true.
harasser ban.
Wow, this hunter is really careful with the harassers. So I'm really curious to see what they're going. Oh, it looks like they're hovering on an explorer ban. Oh,
I
they explorer pick,
think
sorry.
I
They did
think
pick
they
the
are
explorer.
reading into a queuist, I believe, with Doctor, Gravekeeper, and Explorer. I do think they are trying to counter a queuist. I
Wow.
think that makes sense. Queuist is kind of like a very prominent, I
He's
wouldn't
a
say
very
he's a
strong hunter
tiger,
as
but
well.
yeah, it's his
Mm,
worst is a tie, and he
mm,
has the potential to get 3K, 4K quite easily if played
definitely.
correctly. But
Yeah.
into teams where he's weaker against, it does, kind of force kind of a tie, right?
Hmm. Yeah, the survivor lineup is looking quite strong, and the explorer is a very 50-50 character. You know, if he hides well, he can
Mhm.
buy so much time for the team. But again, if he gets caught out, he is very much cooked. So I think the doctor will be very efficient here, and the seer will hopefully be doing good support, a good job at extending the kite of their teammates or kiting themselves. So it is really hit or miss. We don't know. We just have to wait and see who they're gonna pick as the hunter now.
Yes, I mean, from the perspective of, say, like, if you chase Explorer, then you leave Seer and Doctor to support. We will be seeing
Whoa!
AQs. I'm really excited to see how AQs will fare into a full counter team. Um,
Yes.
like,
Wow, this is a brave choice from the hunter, but you know, if QS isn't they're comfortable with, I mean, fair enough. They really want to go in strong, play the hunter that they've prepared, and see
mhm,
if they can even against the team of full counters. You know, good on them. I'm really excited to see how this hunter is going to go into the team and on a pretty survivor-sided map as well.
yes. Though this map does slightly favor QS and the fact that it is small, it's easy to lock off
Hmm,
ciphers from, miles away
definitely.
across the entire map because it's a smaller one. It's also easier to lock. But this team, very strong. I'm just curious as to how he's going to chase this, because if he chases Explorer, then the Doctor is available. If he chases a Seer, then the Doctor and Explorer are available. And if he chases the Doctor, then the Explorer and Seer are available. It's just really, really hard to like
It
manage.
is hard, yeah. He's spawning on the right side here, so he could choose to chase sandbags or factory or even middle to remove the rescuer.
Mm.
I really don't know where he's gonna go here. He might even choose to go for an aggressive Cypher lock play. It's not that aggressive, but he might choose to prioritize Cypher Rush in this game in order to try and guarantee himself that 3K which they need.
Mm.
So,
Are you saying like he's trying to aim for like a three cipher situation in the end game?
uh, I I don't know. I think Q is he does really well when you're able to kind of play aggressive and lock off a lot of ciphers, reduce the cipher rush. Um, I'm not sure about a three cipher endgame. What do you
Three
think, Sebi?
cipher. Three cipher is one of Q's many strengths. You cannot end up with all three ciphers endgame being really close to each other. That is how typically QS get
Right.
his 4Ks. However,
Yeah.
there is an explorer at least to kind of counteract that, because he can pop the cipher at like 20%. Right, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
But if he does chase the explorer, then poses a huge
That's
risk.
kind of out of the question. Yeah. Then yeah, we might see him going for the explorer. Then in that case, if it would benefit his cipher pressure. We'll just have to see what he goes for. It's 50-50 again with the hiding technique. We're going to see it starting now. Let's have a look at the build for the QS.
I am expecting insolence detention.
Yeah,
Yes,
very standard. A bit of
detention.
pallet breaking as well. And
Yes.
impulsive. We can expect that from a QS. He's going towards the explorer, trying to find him. We see him
Ooh,
hiding in a corner. It must be very... Oh, explorer's
so
rotating.
close. This is really nerve wracking. I can't imagine being the explorer here.
Yeah, I also can't imagine being the hunter. I can understand both sides of the stress here. Explorer's doing a good job hiding. Wow, gone right to the corner.
Right next to the exit gate, you wouldn't expect it. It's such a risky spot, but
It is very risky. High risk, high reward. The Q's is changing targets immediately. He does not want to be wasting time. Because again, if you waste too much time looking, the ciphers are going to be high and it's going to be very disadvantageous for the Q's.
oh,
It's a fast
oh,
hit on the Grave. I don't know why Grave came out of shovel. He might have tried to go for a pallet stun there and
yeah.
unfortunately did not pull it off.
A misplay from the grape. Yesterday had no pallets at all dropped in middle.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising. Um, you know,
Mhm.
does take his shovel early here. He has presence. He also has, blink to work with. However,
Yeah.
a strength of Gravekeeper into Qist is that he can, completely dodge the keeper with his shovel, as we see right here.
True, but then the question is that really that much of a problem for QS when he has Blink available as well, and he has a lot of resources to work with now.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
dodges the impulsive charge attack. That is very well done from the Gravekeeper. Now moving towards the pallets. This should be a good opportunity to do some tight kiting. Wow, the
Oh,
pallet's
nice
done.
pallet
Nicely
done.
done. Looking at the ciphers, oh my goodness. Two ciphers basically done already. And another
Yes,
shovel pulled up. Very nice, very nice.
we do have an owl still. However, by chasing the Gravekeeper, it does eliminate that only Titan. There's no other tides in this team. Um, Kind of interesting
Yeah.
when you need to only play for a tie. Is basement here at factory? You are seeing a long transition from this grave here.
Wow, don't know if
Ooh,
basement is here. I think I have to turn the camera. Oh no. Basement is not here. Basement is in shack. Okay. Wow, imagine that would have been a real game changer. But he's trying the same spot that we saw in the previous match. In middle, probably guaranteeing that cipher pressure, which is very much helpful for QAs.
a concern does rise. Gravekeeper, great kite for him, but he is now full presence as Qist.
Mm,
Full presence for QS, he's able to, pressure correctly and way
yeah.
faster now. Another concern is the survivors do not have a Titan, so if they do farm this Gravekeeper, it does speed in this QS momentum a lot. It does get the
Oh,
farm off.
wow.
Inside
And the
missed.
doctor doesn't even get a hit.
No.
Reduces the strength of the doctor really with doctor. You want to be getting a hit, body blocking, but that farm really just reduced kind of um the whole like support potential with doctor.
Yes,
He
we
is able
also
to lock
do
that
have
cipher.
a seer, and I'm curious to why Sid didn't, watch the Gravekeeper as he was gonna, get rescued like that.
Oh, that's true. Oh, he is spectating now, so we probably might see an instant owl. Wow, Doctor takes the hit. That is good. Forces attack recovery. The cipher is nearly primed, but no one's decoding it currently.
Oh, just walks through the pallet in front of the doctor. No care in the world.
A very
We are
brave move, but it worked off.
let's see if his owl works.
Oh,
Oh, just think. Hands it to
early
an
owl.
owl. Yeah, I think
Wow,
that
he
cool.
really wanted to guarantee that time until the cipher is completely primed.
I mean, it
Gravekeeper
is
does
prime
have
right now.
BT.
Uh-oh, cue ball used. Pop.
Wow, this is a 4-man endgame. It's looking rough for the hunter. But
Mm,
given the way that Qs can traverse the map very quickly, we could see a turnaround here, but it looks like he's going to commit to the Gravekeeper.
yes, we are tunneling on this Gravekeeper. Kind of a
Blink
risky
is
play
not
when you need
available.
to. You need to 3K. I would have probably switched to the gates by now.
Oh,
Gravekeeper
gets
does
the
go
hit.
down. Not even. I think he is dead on chair now.
He
Trying to
is.
opt
But
the
the
gate.
gate is
So
nearly
close.
open. I think they do make it out. Unless...
No, no,
Wow,
no.
the doctor makes out that as a guaranteed 3-man.
That is a
Oh
3 minute.
my.
I do believe that is the win for Team Tulip here.
Team...
Yes, the Survivors team right now.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're correct. Okay, Team Chula, congratulations. That was round 3. It was a very
that was
two very
close.
good.
The Hunter
Mm,
was kind of pressured. They need to 3K, and
yeah.
picking Qist into such a strong counter comp. It's really hard, right? Especially in a Survivor sided map. Um,
Yeah.
Gravekeeper, though not prepared for the kite to the
Mm,
chase, had no pallets dropped in middle and kind of misclicked perhaps on his shovel at the pallet there. Still able
true.
to bring it back with a nice rebound.
It was
And
a very nice first kite, and he was able
mm,
to even, despite the conditions, kited until at least 2 ciphers, and Explorer was already digging up his second page. I think that's really what helped them, is the bolt time by the Explorer and the ability of Gravekeeper to not just panic kite, and he did very well.
yes, I mean, like Explorer, that's why I'm saying like very counters Qs a lot because Qs likes to regress ciphers, but
Mm,
Explorer doesn't need to decode a cipher. He just needs pages. It
exactly.
just cannot like control ciphers as much or as well, especially when you're chasing the slowest decoder on the team, the Gravekeeper. No one else having any decoding buff debuff does allow for really strong cipher rush.
Yeah, it was a very good game. Unfortunate for the hunter, it was a risky play, and yeah, we do see how when you pick strong survivors who counter the hunter you're expecting on a good map, yeah, they performed very well. I'll have to say a well done to the
Mm,
survivors
yes,
and the
congratulations
survivors
to
of
both
the other
teams.
teams.
Well played.
Yeah, both matches are very good. Thank you guys for watching. I'm glad that everyone could be here, and
Yes.
see you later.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye now.